Good day everyone, and welcome to Willadine's Kitchen. I want to thank everybody for viewing our videos. I hope our videos help you prepare some meals at home that you and your family can enjoy. So today we're going to do a quick meal. We got a steak dinner here that we're going to prepare. It's basically going to be steak and gravy. So what I have in front of me are the ingredients. Of course, we have 2 pieces of steak here. This is top sirloin steak. It's not a prime cut, but when you prepare it correctly, it can be nice and tender and delicious as well. So we have the steak here. We have some mushrooms and onions. I like mushrooms and onions in my gravy. You don't have to add that, but it does add some flavor to the dish. So I like to add it to mine. We also have some beef stock here. We're going to use the beef stock, of course, to make the gravy, along with the butter. That we have 2 tablespoons of butter here and 2 tablespoons of flour. We're going to mix the butter and the flour together in the pot to make what they call a roux, and that's going to help thicken up our steak gravy. I have my own special blend of seasoning here that I'm going to use to add on to the steak. You can use your favorite seasonings, whatever that may be, a steak seasoning or seasoning salt or just salt and pepper, but whatever you like will go great with this dish. And of course, on the side here, I have some rice. So we're going to have rice with this. We're going to do a Carolina style today with some rice. And I have some green beans here that we're also going to serve on the side. I'm going to find a way to spice up these green beans a little bit so it can add some more elegance to our dish. So I'm going to get started, show you how to make steak and gravy. Okay, so we're seasoning our steak. We're going to season it on both sides with our seasoning blend. And then we're going to use our meat mallet and we're going to pound these steaks out. Now the seasoning and the meat mallet is going to tenderize the steak, make it nice and delicious, tender steak once we get it cooked.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get started here. We're going to first cook off our onions and mushrooms in this hot pan. I add a little oil to the pan. Just going to dump them right in there. It's going to take us about 4 or 5 minutes to get these cooked down good, get some nice color on them, and then we'll proceed with the steak. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes now on these mushrooms and onions. They got some brown color to them. We're going to remove them from the pan now, and then we're going to start cooking our steak. Okay, so the mushrooms have been removed. I deglazed the pan and get some of that bits of flavor off the bottom from the mushrooms, and now it's steak time. All right, so we cooked off our steak and we added our butter and flour to the pan to make a roux. I let the roux cook until it got brown. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add our liquid to the pan. We're going to whisk as we add the liquid. And what this liquid is going to do is going to thicken up, and it's also going to release a lot of those bits of flavor off of the bottom of the pan so we can get our gravy started.
Yes.
Okay, so we want a nice smooth consistency with our gravy, which we're getting here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add back our mushrooms and onions. I don't think I'm going to use all of them, but I'm going to add back quite a few of them. Actually, we'll just add them all. So we got our mushrooms and onions back in the pan. Okay, so we're taking our steak and we cut it into smaller pieces as well. Add that right into the pan. And we're going to let this cook for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to reduce the gravy down just a little bit, thicken it up, get some of the flavor out of the steak out into the gravy. Okay, we can see our steak is cooking down here. The gravy is getting nice and thick. You see them bubbles in there going. What we're going to do is we're going to let it go just a little bit longer. Now, when you reduce a liquid, if it's sweet, it's going to get sweeter. If it's salty, it's going to get saltier. So you have to keep an eye on your seasoning. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a taste right now. I haven't added any additional salt or pepper. So let's see what it tastes like. Okay, for me that is plenty of salt. It has nice flavor. I'm going to let it cook for a couple of more minutes. Then we're going to roast off some Parmesan green beans. We got some breaded Parmesan green beans that we're going to use for our side dish. What I decided to do with the green beans. Okay, everybody, our steak is done. Our steak and gravy is on the plate, ready to be eaten. We have cooked the rice, and we have the rice here in the center. We have the steak around the rice with the mushrooms and onions, and we topped it off with a little bit of parsley. So what we're going to do is we also have our oven roasted Parmesan green beans, and I do have a recipe video for the green beans. I'll post the link down below so you can watch that video if you'd like to go ahead and make these green beans as well. So what we're going to do now is a quick taste of this steak. Let's see how tender it is. Can we cut it with the fork? And yes, we can. Cut off a nice piece of steak there with the fork. So it's nice and tender, has lots of flavor. Mushrooms and onions. This tastes great. Yeah, that's very delicious. So if you want to treat your family to a nice steak dinner, or even yourself, you can go out and get some top sirloin steak like we did for like $7. Pound it out, season it, pound it out, make it nice and tender, and cook it off and have some gravy with it. It tastes great. We have our green beans over here. Give that a taste. Nice crunch to the green beans. Lots of flavor. This is a good meal, good family meal. It's quick, easy, and not expensive to make. So I hope you try my recipes at home. I want to thank everybody for viewing and have a good day. Thank you.